There are concerns social workers can't visit vulnerable children in care in Wales because of a lack of protective equipment. That's according to the union representing them, and it comes as new figures show an almost 20% increase in the number of calls to the NSPCC from adults concerned about child abuse during lockdown across the UK. Thomas Morgan has the story.
I'm worried about the children now, that they will be at home all day due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Last night I could hear the mother screaming and shouting aggressively. This has been happening almost daily since the lockdown.
These are just some examples of the types of calls the NSPCC's helpline has been receiving in recent weeks. For some children, their situation may have gotten worse as they have been forced to remain at home.
I think the emotional side of it was a lot worse than the physical side, and it went on for quite a few years.
Bethan, which isn't her real name, is from North Wales. Since she was 6 years old, she says she suffered abuse from her father.
I mean, it'd be anywhere from a slap to a push down the stairs. He wouldn't think twice about holding a knife up to you. When it's happening sort of on a daily basis, you're just accustomed to it. It's just normal.
As the lockdown continues, Bethan fears for any child that may be in a similar situation as she was.
To be stuck inside at a point like this, it's got to be terrifying, and it gives me chills to even think about being back in that position.
New figures from the NSPCC's Childline, seen exclusively by the BBC, show that there's been almost a 20% rise since the lockdown of adults calling with concerns that children may be subject to neglect, physical abuse or emotional abuse.
The longer the lockdown goes on, the more intense and at risk children are if they are invisible to the outside world.
At the front line safeguarding children are social workers. But unions say sickness, patchy PPE provisions and social distancing measures across Wales are all having an impact on the way the profession can function.
Social workers should not be missing out on face-to-face contact visits because of a lack of PPE.
The Welsh Government says it's working hard to ensure PPE is available for all frontline staff in social services.
Every other person thinks their home is a safe environment, and that's what a home should be.
And Bethan hopes that any child in a vulnerable situation at this time can get the support they need.
And anyone who's concerned about a child's well-being can contact the NSPCC helpline for advice and support on 0808 800 5000 or via help@nspcc.org.uk. Now, many people across the country will be on their doorsteps tonight doing what's become the new normal for many,